Hey everybody, I'm John from Voltage Shield, Marketing for Electricians. Today I want to talk about 3 of the top usability issues I see on electrician websites. So if you're not familiar with the term, usability is all about how easy it is for someone to use a website, to find the information that they're looking for, or to take an action that they want to take. Okay, let's get into it. So the first issue I see, and the one that drives me crazy, is that the phone number for the business is hidden. When you go to the website, you cannot find it on the home page. You have to scroll, click, go to another page, whatever. So let's see what this looks like real quick. And I just want to say that while I do use real websites, for example, I'm not trying to tear anyone down. In fact, I'm trying to show people the opportunity on their websites. They've taken the time to create this great asset, and I want them to get all of the value out of it that they possibly can. Okay, so let's check out Andrathon Electrical in Seattle. So we can't find the phone number, so I just want to let you see what it might look like if a consumer was trying to find a way to contact this business. They would have to scroll down quite a bit, and let's see where we finally get to see a phone number. All right, so I see a contact form here, and let's see, email address and phone number. So let's move that to the top, and then on the footer of every single page, I'd love to see the business name, the phone number, the address. That's a map pin in case you're wondering. I know. An email address, a contact form, all this stuff is great. I just want the phone number to be at the top of the page. All right, so let's head over to Switch Electric Home Energy. They do have a contact form here, but I don't want to send my information out and just wait for somebody to contact me. And usually when that happens, as a consumer, I just move on to the next website and keep doing that until I actually find somebody who can do the work versus sending something out and just like sitting around waiting for an answer to come back. So these contact forms might be great for some people, but I think for most, they're just not active enough. So this is actually a great site. There's some numbers. The pictures are interesting. They've got some video about their process. They've got quotes from customers. All this is good stuff. I would actually expect that here I would see some contact information, but I'm not seeing anything. Yes, I finally get to see the contact information here. The advantage of this website is that they've got their contact information on the footer of every page, so that's great. So that makes it easier for customers, and Google likes seeing that as well. Okay, let's look at one more site. Mercy Electric. So they do have a contact page. Scrolling down, however, on the home page, let's see how long it takes to find their phone number. Oop, what just happened? Okay, this is kind of nice. They've got their license. They've got their physical address. Here's their phone number. Here's their email address. Here's a handy contact form. So all this stuff is great. I just want it to be at the very top of the website, so it's the first thing a customer can see. So if they come to this site warm and ready, that there's a couple easy ways for them to reach out and make contact. Okay, with that, let's go and look at the second major usability issue that we find on electrician websites. All right, so our first issue is that the phone number is hidden, or even that it's at the bottom of the home page. Let's move it up. Let's move it all the way up to the top and make it easy for people to find it. The second issue is slow page loads. And consumers hate this. Most people are going to bounce after 6 or 7 seconds of waiting for something to load. And Google really doesn't like this either. So this is going to negatively impact your local rankings if your web page is slow to load. So let's see what that looks like. Here we are in PageSpeed Insights. This is a free Google product that allows you to put in the URL of a website and see how that website is performing on speed, accessibility, best practices, and SEO. So the thing I'm looking for here is this performance metric here. And Google will use this as a ranking indicator. So the lower this is, the more they're going to ding your performance in local search. And for this website here, once again, not picking on it, just pointing out opportunities for improvement. The first contentful paint, how long it takes to see content, is already at 4 seconds. That may not seem like a long time, but when you're waiting for something to load on your phone, that can start to feel like an eternity. And the largest one takes over 12 seconds to load. So you think you've got, for most people, 6 to 8 seconds of patience. And after that, they're going to bounce and go somewhere else. And after that 6 to 8 second metric, Google is going to start dinging your performance. And that's probably part of the reason why the site only has a 51 out of 100 for performance and is losing in local search. The site is pretty awesome, actually. I will leave a link to it in the show notes, but it can tell you exactly what it's doing here. So it's emulating the device. It's a slow. It's pretty cool, and then it shows you the progression of how the site loads over time. And so if you wanting to get into more details, it's got a ton of recommendations below to help you not only with performance, but with accessibility, best practices, and with SEO. So let's just do an experiment here. I've got this URL queued up in another tab, and I have set Google that the network here is a slow 4G connection. So let's see what this actually feels like in the real world when we try and when we try and load this slow performing site. Okay, so on a slow 4G connection, that big image takes a while to load. And I've been on this site before. It's got some pretty massive images. The scroll is kind of choppy, which I don't love. And then when that top image loads, it pushes everything down, which makes the page confusing to navigate. So again, all these are opportunities to improve with Google, to improve with consumers. One last thing I will point out is that there is no phone number here. So awesome opportunity to improve there. Okay, so with that, let's go look at our third top usability issue. Our third usability issue that I see all the time on electrician websites, and really for the trades in general, boring photos. And that might not seem like that big of a deal. But think about it, we are visual creatures. We use photos to help us understand the type of organization that we're looking at. Is this something that feels warm, inviting? Do I know the people behind it? Or does this feel faceless, weird, off-putting? So as a consumer, when I'm on a website, really quickly I'm trying to understand, is this a business that I can trust? Is this a person I can trust? And how do I do that? I don't do it by reading. Content is great, especially for Google. And maybe if I'm a consumer who's already made the decision to go with this company and I'm just validating a decision I've already made. But as we're doing snap judgments, photos are a huge deal. They help me understand, is this an authentic site, as something worthy of trust? So let's look at what that looks like when there's boring photos. Okay, so here we are on Risk and Electric. And once again, I will point out that there is no phone number at the top, so here's an opportunity here. They do have a Book Now button. Oh, but that goes away. They have a Book Now button up here, so that it's not like they're totally bereft of ways to contact. But what I do want to focus on today is the photography. So it does look like they're using custom photography, so that's something. At least it's not stock photography. Stock photography is possibly the worst thing that you could do in terms of photography on a website. The second worst thing you can do is to not include any pictures of human beings. So as I scroll down, and I'm a consumer, just, I'm looking through 3 or 4 websites of electricians trying to decide who's going to get my business. There's nothing really, there's no faces here to hook my attention. There's some numbers, that's great. There's some custom photography. Maybe if I get lucky, I go to About Us. There'll be a picture of some people. Okay, there's a really old picture of somebody. And none of the employees that work there currently. What about Contact Us? What about on reviews? Are there some people on reviews at least? Okay, so this site could use pictures of people, and I think that's just a huge opportunity for this business to establish a little bit more trust. They've already put in a lot of time to build this asset, their website. Google knows about it and is picking it up, and let's put some faces on it to give it authenticity and some trust. All right, Aguilar Electric serving the Bay Area. Let's see what they've got. Again, they've got some pictures of their work, very nice. It's not stock photography, so there's some trust built a little bit. As I'm scrolling down and down and down, is that, okay, that's messy enough that doesn't seem like a stock photo. But still, I'm not seeing any faces. I'm seeing some pretty pictures of work, but we're visual creatures and we care about seeing faces. I do like this photo at the bottom. This is one of their trucks. That lets me know this is a kind of a real business and a little more trustworthy. Here's a face on their chat, but I don't know that I always trust these as a user. I kind of assume that this person is either made up or an AI or whatever. That's probably not somebody who works in the business. So let's see if we go to About Us, if we can find anything. All right, I'm not seeing it. Okay. So yeah, this is a problem. It's just, this is a website that, even though this business might be great, as a consumer, I'm not giving them much time to make a decision. I'm kind of just like scrolling through fast. They have checked the professionalism box, but I don't know that they've checked the trust and authenticity box, simply because I can't get a sense of who they are. And if we go to a comparison site, so let's go to Mr. Electric of Dallas and go to their website. I think they do this quite well. All right, first thing I see faces. I see them doing work. They just have a ton of people right at the top of the site, and it's their text. This is not stock. It might be staged, but at least it's not stock. It's their stock. And then as I'm scrolling down, I see more pictures of their crew, of their vans, tons of people, tons of faces, work, of their fleet. So there's just a lot going on here. This is a business that I really like. They rank at the top of Google search results. So I think this is a great one to look to and emulate if we're looking to fix the usability issues that we've outlined today. All right, so I'm John with Voltage Shield, and this was our breakdown of top 3 usability issues on electrician websites. So just to review, get that phone number at the top. Having it missing or having it hidden under a button or at the very bottom of the page is a huge mistake. That's just a real easy way for people to contact you. Second huge problem is slow page load time. This can often be invisible to businesses because they don't often know how to check for it. So you've got a tool now, Page Speed Insights, which I'll link to in the show notes and a bunch of other places. So now you can plug in the URL of your website and see how you're performing and maybe talk to your marketing agency if it's not as performant as you think it should be. And then the third one is just boring photos, because a website is kind of like a pamphlet. It's there to give people information, but also to establish trust and create a sense of your brand. And so if the photos don't have people in them, if they're stock photography, then you're just not getting as much leverage out of your asset that you're not going to hook consumers, and you're just not going to come across as the trustworthy, authentic business that I know you are. All right, so I'm John from Voltage Shield. We help electricians get found, get called, and get hired. You can reach me at john@voltageshield.com. and check out our website at voltageshield.com on the World Wide Web. I will talk to you soon. Bye.